Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Metro on the Move. Today, we're on the Appalachian Trail, and it's raining. We got 17 miles to go today, but today, we're heading to the Lookout Hostel. I've been looking forward to staying there. We met the owners at Trail Days, and they invited us to stop by. So, after I finish my cup of coffee, I'm going to pack up my tent and get up on the trail, hang out with my buddy Alpha Gal, and make 17 miles to the Lookout Hostel. So let's keep moving. All right, so here was my tent set up for the night. Nice little trick, in case you notice, to get the extra headspace. Pull out that guy line like that, gives you a nice little headroom. But this is the Unbound 2 Person by Hyperlite. And that's my new pack. That is the Hyperlite Unbound 40 liter. So I've got all my summer gear in it. But it's raining, guys, so I need to pack up. Beautiful campsite here, wouldn't you say? Let's keep moving. All right, guys, it looks like we're almost to Pulpit Rock. I don't know how much of a view we're going to see today. It is raining, but we're almost there to Pulpit Rock. Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's like 3 observatories up here. Heading towards Pulpit Rock. Just a short distance to go. All right. All right, so we're getting our first view of the day. A little foggy. Cool. All right, guys, we're at the Pinnacle. If you see behind me, this is where all the rocks come from in Pennsylvania. It just seems like every single rock that's breeded has originated behind me. As you can see, someone put a little balancing rock there. But again, look how many rocks there are. This is just a site of what is to come for the rest of Pennsylvania. Now, again, we've hiked up all of these rocks getting to this point. But this is amazing. The Pinnacle. Crazy! Wow, look at that, guys. This is the Pinnacle. Incredible. Awesome views. All right, guys, we're out here at the Pinnacle. If you look behind me, it's a beautiful view of Pennsylvania. Only going to be here for a few more days before we head into New Jersey. But again, it's nice to get these views along the way because we've been in the rain, guys. It's been a pretty wet day. Let's keep moving. Well, guys, this is the trail. It rained pretty good last night. Just water down the whole thing, man. I'm trying to keep my feet dry. But dang. Well, since we have some time to talk, I thought I'd mention a few things. Should you stay at a hostel? Or should you stay at a hotel? Well, that depends. And what I mean by that is the following. Not every hostel is the same. Some hostels have more amenities than others. Some hostels include shuttles. Some hostels include breakfast or dinner. Some include laundry. Some of them charge for these things, right? So when you start looking at the base rate of what a hostel might charge you, it ranges anywhere between the lowest I've ever seen is $25 so far, upwards of $65 for a bunk. Now, a bunkhouse is going to be in a common area. So if you're not comfortable with staying in a bunkhouse, then you're going to have to pay a little bit more for a private room. And that can range anywhere between $60 upwards of $100. So again, the benefit of staying at a hostel is the following. Most of the time, a hostel will pick you up at a trailhead. And sometimes they'll even offer a service, whether it's included or as an upsell, to take you into town to resupply, so you don't have to hoof it down the street. Now, here's the other side of that. As we start looking at those numbers, if you're hiking by yourself, sure, it makes sense to go to a hostel. Because one, you don't have anyone supporting you, and those rides are very important. But if you're hiking with others, and you have the ability to pitch in and split a room, sometimes a hotel might be a better option. Now, the hostel experience can also vary. What does that mean? Sometimes the vibe is completely different. Now, some of my favorite hostels so far have been the Green Dragon, Rambling Roots, the Quarterway Inn, Boots Off, as well as Woods Hole. Those are some of my favorite hostels so far. Now, we are also heading into a place called the Lookout tonight. So in this video, I'm going to show you firsthand what a hostel looks like, and also some of the vibes that are going on. Now, the Lookout, we met a couple of those individuals at Trail Days, and they're very upbeat, they were positive, and they said, hey, when you're coming through, make sure you stop by. So they were excited to see you. Not every hostel is excited to see you. Sometimes it might feel like they prefer if you weren't there. Now, I'm not going to call those hostels out, but some hostels don't really have it all dialed in, and you might feel extremely uncomfortable when you're staying there. Now, if you've never stayed at a hostel before, again, especially in a bunkhouse, it's a shared experience. So if you're not really into meeting new people or sharing spaces with others, that may not be the best fit for you. But again, when you're hiking the AT, you're going to need a little help from a friend, whether it be a shuttle or a hostel or just support or a hitch or whatever it might be, so you can get to and from the trail. Because I've only met maybe a couple people in my lifetime that just stayed on the trail the entire time. And I'm not going to say who those people are, because I think they also might live on the trail, right? You can take that however you like. But hostel versus hotel, what I would recommend you to do is to look at the comments on the Far Out app and see what people say about it. And again, looking at your personality type, if you're not okay with shared spaces, a hostel might be a little bit uncomfortable for you. Anyway, we're staying at a hostel tonight. We're going to the Lookout, like I said, and I'm excited to meet with the owners and to explore their hostel a little bit more. So stay tuned. Let's keep moving. Warning, this is a public water facility. We're at the Pulpit Rock. Went up to the Pinnacle. But here it is, guys. A little more info on where we're at. Well, guys, looks like after the rain is gone and we visited the Pinnacle, now we're at Dans Pulpit. Not Pulpit Rock, but Dans Pulpit. Look at those rocks, guys. It just keeps going, and this isn't even the rocky part yet. Tomorrow, it's going to be Rock Sylvania times 10. I've heard that there's a huge climb out with lots of rocks. So, I don't know, man. I tell you, they don't call it Rock Sylvania for nothing. Yeesh. Well, guys, it's raining, and this is balanced rock. As you can see, the view is spectacular today. But evidently this rock here moves an inch if you step on one side or the other. That's why it's called balanced rock. Just in case you wanted to know. All right, man. This is where we came out after 21 miles. wasn't 17, it was 21. Maybe even 22. Heading to the Lookout Hostel. Gray J came to the rescue to pick us up at this lovely intersection here in the rain. Fun times, right? All right, guys, we're here at the Lookout Hostel again. Shared spaces. We're in the bunkhouse. So as you can see, there's a couple bunks behind me and then a couple bunks right here. So make sure you call in advance to make sure there's availability. These places do fill up, especially when it is raining outside. And it's been raining 22 miles today, so I'm just glad to be able to get in here, get some warm food, and to recharge my batteries. Literally, I need to recharge my batteries. So let me get on that. I'll walk around the premises and show you a little bit more. But again, we're at the Lookout in the bunkhouse. Just thought I'd share that with you. This view, guys, at the Lookout. Pretty sweet. Let's keep moving.